let's go ahead and head over here. Head back over here. Yeah, down to floor 2 so that we can go underground somewhere. So we can go through here.
Okay, keep him quiet.
Process in the...
Nice one!
Where is it? Oh, it's up there. Yeah, I think we're good. You good?
Halt. Performing
Incoming! Don't mess with us.
Yeah. So many people with it. I think what Miss Listens was saying there isn't that she hates using. She hates the idea of using. It's not that she hates the idea of using disposable cups. It's that she doesn't like using them herself for tea. And there's a few reasons that could be like. Like for me, I don't really like using disposable cups for hot drinks, just in general. I find that they don't do a very good job of either keeping the drink warm or keeping the drink, or keeping my hand from just burning off. So for hot drinks in particular, I avoid single-use cups as much as I can within reason. Security chief. So if I go from this to that, and I can use all 5 of my shunts.
Done.
No! No, I'm so sad. I'm so sad. Yeah, I usually can't get through a hot drink all that particularly fast. Was my guess right? Was I I mean, not necessarily right on the money, but was I in the right vein of I was right? Okay, so I need I need security credentials. Is there a map anywhere? Oh. Hmm.
What's eating you?
I'll just excuse myself. Never mind. I've taken care of your problem. I've taken care of my problem. So, yeah, for me, I really enjoy being able to enjoy hot beverages for a long period of time if I have them. So like if I have a hot chocolate, which is my warm beverage, my first choice of a warm beverage, like I will I would like I prefer if I can nurse on that for, you know, 20 30 minutes. Just enjoy it for as long of a time as I can. Oh.
Nice.
Da, 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 da. Failed to meet its production output quotas. Committed to cost-efficient power for the entire region. Okay, so this is the...
Once we do this, there's no going back.
Yeah.
Hey, mister? Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you. Do you understand what you're about to do?
I wouldn't mind hearing your opinion.
I don't think you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry. That just sort of came out all at once.
I don't disagree
Edgewater's
with
hurting.
you.
We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate hardly ever sends replacements. There's barely enough Saltuna to fill our bellies anymore. But the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard-working folk just living their lives the only way they know how. They don't deserve to be punished.
Yeah, I don't disagree. The deserters are a community, and I can't just destroy what they built.
Miss McDevitt's built something beautiful. Somehow she's talked the ground into giving life again. It's plain to see she's made the Vale a better place. Fed the hungry, tended the sick. Gave a home to those that had none. But Miss McDevitt delights in Edgewater's suffering. She wants to hurt the town. Do you really want to be party to that kind of hatred?
And Reed tells me Edgewater's gonna die without workers in power.
Well, that sure sounds like Mr. Thompson. If he was standing here, I imagine he'd remind us of how we're all one big, happy Spacer's Choice family. In Mr. Thompson's eyes, those deserters are still part of the Spacer's Choice family. The family must work together in order to survive. I hate to say it, but I think Mr. Thompson's got a point. Unless those deserters come back, Edgewater's as good as dead. Cutting off their power might be the only way.
I see your point. I think I'm ready
Sorry,
to make a
I
decision.
didn't mean to babble on like that. I felt like I had to say something.
I'm glad you did. I like hearing from you.
Really? I mean, wow. Thanks. No one's ever told me those words in that order.
So, she does bring up a point. And the thing is, as much as I hate the absolute manic corporatism in this game, it's just a reality of life in this universe. The people in Edgewater, what's the word I'm looking for? The people in Edgewater, they gave, manic corporatism is just a fact of life. The thing is, Edgewater has walls. It's a safer place. Even though it's not a good place. Like, the fact that the place is not a good place doesn't mean that the people aren't good people. And a lot of people would get hurt pretty badly if I cut off Edgewater's power. Now, on the other hand, the same's gonna happen if I cut off the, let's just call them the refugees. If I cut off the refugees' power, the deserters' power, they will lose what they've built up. I don't think that they would all work together to survive. I think there's a number of people on both sides who would willingly go over to the other, like, no. I think there's a number of people in Edgewater who would willingly go over to the deserters, but I don't know if there's anyone in the deserters who would willingly go over to Edgewater. Edgewater's a crappy place. I'm so happy that this is not corporate working simulator. This is... I don't love it, but it's the only answer that I think makes sense. I think that Edgewater truly is the safer place for people to be. If the world outside the town, if the world outside of Edgewater wasn't worse than the inside of Edgewater, it wouldn't bother me so much. But the world outside of Edgewater is a terrible place. Like, it is worse than the inside of town. If I force Edgewater out, they will die. Workbench. Automag? Can I put a... No, I can't. I can't put a... Oh, I can't make a stealth barrel. Oh, that makes me sad. But I can make a... Okay, well, this is now my pistol. I am happier with this pistol than my other one. Okay, so this automag pistol is no longer is friend. New best friend, bolter pistol. Still can't find that security card. I feel like this should hurt me right there. And how quiet it is now. I do have 451 bullets, so... Interesting. Doesn't sound that much quieter.
Oh, that's Thomas. He used to follow me around before he left the cannery.
That's the thing about growing old. Your eyes start to fail. Elsewise, I would have seen you for the snake that you are, chopped you into pieces and roasted you on a spit. This is all you're doing. Cutting off my power, killing off my garden. Without refrigeration, my food will spoil, and my flock will starve.
You don't think the same would happen to them?
I want to ask you this in private, away from the eyes of my flock, so they do not see me lose my temper. Tell me, why did you do it?
You don't give me So the problem here is that we have limited responses, because none of these are the reasons I did it. But the closest one is Reed needs his people back. But that implies that I actually think Reed needs his people. No, I think that Edgewater is a better place for... I think that Edgewater is a better place for your flock, as you call them, than out here is a place for those in Edgewater.
You want my flock wasting their lives in that cannery? Fine. Go and talk to them. Go talk to Grace and Thomas. Look them in the eye and tell them their life here is over, and the only thing left to do is go back to Edgewater. This is now your responsibility. And you tell Reed Thompson that I will never return to Edgewater. I would rather die among my flowers than live under his management.
What happened to you, Adelaide? So all this anger had to come from somewhere.
My son worked in that cannery. When the plague started coming, he was one of the first to fall sick. We had a store of medicine locked away, but Reed refused to treat him. Said my boy didn't deserve treatment. Said the medicine would have been wasted on him. So I buried my boy in the cemetery, gathered my belongings, and left.
I get it.
That's as much of the story as you need to hear.
I can't force you to go back. I'm willing to deal with Reed for you.
You offering to cross Reed off?
Wait, that's
huh?
not what I said.
This
That's
some
not what I
sort of
meant to
twisted
say.
reparation for what you've done? Or are you just looking for a chance to sow some chaos? Kill Reed if you must, or talk him into leaving if you can. He and I are not sharing the same four walls together.
Reed isn't just gonna leave his post. I'll need some help convincing him.
Tell Reed that I can make his people healthy again. I can end their plague. Start a new garden right in the cannery. 3 square meals for every man and woman in Edgewater. Tell him how I've made the Vale bloom again. The soil has whispered its secrets to me.
Yeah.
And I alone know how to breathe life back into the earth.
Yeah.
The secret is human corpses. I've been grinding them up in my fertilizer for years. Marauder, worker, don't matter much to me. The human body is rich with nutrients.
You think that'll convince Reed to step down?
I have got a means to cure the plague, and I will not share that cure until Reed leaves town.
Okay.
Those are my terms.
I think that's reasonable. For what it's worth, I'm sorry.
One of us want to go see what happened?
Everybody keeps staring at me. It's not my fault the power's dead. Whoa, Miss Parvati. Hey, you're, what, how are you? Hi. Hello.
Are you, are things safe out here? How are you keeping?
Great, just great. I've been trying to keep stuff running, just like you. Only I'm not so... Wait, they didn't kick you out, did they?
Oh gosh, no, I'm just along with this fella here.
I seen you wandering around here. You don't look like you're coming from town.
I don't quite. Trying to get my ship off the ground.
Never heard it phrased in such a way before. I guess we're all trying to get our ships off the ground, ain't we? Sorry, I just wasn't sure if you were from town or if you were one of us. Something's been chewing at me, you see.
Okay.
Fact is, I've been, well, lying. To everybody here. Camp thinks I'm a mechanical genius, but I couldn't fix a busted chair.
Never too late to stop learning, or to start learning. I could give you a couple pointers.
I'll take all the help I can get. I set my mind to learning the craft of the engineer, you see. I want to make something of myself. You ever heard of the Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical
I
Engineering?
only have 2.
Comes in a set of 3. If I had my hands on one of those data pads, I could teach myself the ins and outs.
Those are good. My dad kept a copy with him when he was working in the cannery.
I know the old community center kept a copy. Should find another one back in town. If you could find me even one of those pads, I'd be greatly obliged.
Today's your lucky day, Thomas. I got one of those data pads you wanted.
No kidding. Really? Well, which one?
Part 1, found in the community-centered archives.
Look at that. Building a computing machine out of Spectrum potatoes, a primer. I'm just glad it survived all these years. I appreciate you going through all that trouble. In fact, I put aside something special on the off chance that somebody'd search out those data pads for me.
Oh my goodness. Hold on, I got more for you.
Well, don't keep me in suspense.
Elusive Part 3. Someone stashed
The
away in the
geothermal plant? Now that is just incredible. You really went exploring down there? Adelaide always told us it was swarming with hostile mechanicals.
I dealt with them.
2 whole data pads? Be still my beating heart. Oh, almost forgot your payment.
I'll let you know if I find any of those.
Sure, I'd be glad to take them off your hands.
Now, after all that good news... after all that good news, you won't survive without power. It's time to go back to Edgewater.
I've been thinking about going back. I'm not much use to anybody here. I get sick thinking about working at the cannery. I can't do that again.
So don't work at the cannery. You wanted to be an engineer.
You know something? I think you're right. The town could use another engineer, and I'm on my way to becoming one. I could do a lot of good in Edgewater. Maybe even keep a garage of my own with a little workbench and my very own toolbox. It's just... Adelaide's never gonna forgive me. Not in 100 years. I go crawling back to my old life in Edgewater, and I'm as good as dead to her.
Stay put. I'm going to try to talk Reed into stepping down.
You know where to find me.
I should go. Grace.
Marauders can't see us in the dark. Wild canids, on the other hand.
Yeah. There's nothing left for you here. It's time to go back to Edgewater.
The matter's been weighing on me. Fact is, I can't go anywhere long as Zoe's missing. Disappeared without a trace.
Okay.
Marauders took her, I suspect.
Okay, I'll keep an eye out.
It's not like Zoe to go wandering. Figured she might be out scavenging, but that ain't exactly her talent.
Yeah.
Can't imagine where she's gone. Vale's a wide place. She could be anywhere.
Yeah, for sure. Don't worry about it. I'll find her.
Appreciate it. Honest.
I'll leave you be. Okay, we found the third option. Well, we're not going back to Edgewater yet, so let's check this. Let's go check this out. So that's it then. No more Edgewater for me. No more cannery, no more jumpsuits and gloves, and yes ma'ams, and would you like another's? I don't know why I'm writing this down for posterity's sake. Because I've always hated the cannery, and I don't think I'll ever have to look back at this journal many years hence and tell myself, oh wow, I did hate the Vale once, didn't I? Just because I got sick. Everybody gets sick. Okay, I got sick and grabbed a little too much adrenatime. Is that really a crime? Gotta treat myself when I'm sick, don't I? Whatever happened to personal responsibility and surviving by one's own bootstraps? Oh, but you misappropriated one box of adrenatime, and suddenly you're committing larceny? Well, today's the day, Zoe. Today's the day you take your destiny into your own hands. Listen to Grace talk about the marauder threat, bands of wild, free-spirited bandits living in camps out in the hills, warming themselves by the light of barrel fires, probably mounted the heads of their enemies on spikes as a warning to folk like me, living a life of comfort and ease, free of any rules. I bet they could take the whole region if they were organized. Been tucking away some of Adelaide's food, and I got some spare cans of salt tuna. Should last me a couple weeks if I ration. Got some adrenatime, too. Everybody loves adrenatime, even marauders, right? I got odds those marauders will let me throw in with them if I dangle a couple syringes of adrenatime before their eyes. This is gonna be great. Look out, Terror 2. Bandit Queen Zoe's origin story has just begun. Gonna have a whole gang of marauders at my beck and call. Maybe I can even score some Rizzos.